Hi everyone, my name is Harriet Green, and I've been asked to talk about a year of struggle and opportunity. That is, of course, 2020. To reflect on what happened in the year, the challenges that we encountered, and really focus on how we take those learnings to create opportunity through innovation. I want to focus on you as individuals, women in IT, and hopefully provide some takeaways, some key learnings and action points that you can all really implement if you choose to. I think we all know that right now, the world and all of us in it are in a massive vortex of change. The change that is being brought about by climate and our relationship as humans with the planet, a health pandemic, which will probably stretch the course of 2 years, a huge change around deep inclusion, and then of course the technology changes with the new epoch of cloud, AI, blockchain, cybersecurity that you are very connected with. And I believe that we as women are at the absolute center of this vortex. But I want to plant a seed and set some terms of positive reference for you. What if 2020 wasn't a washout? What if it wasn't a year to cancel? What if 2020 was the year that we have been waiting for? A year so uncomfortable, so painful, so scary, so raw, that it forces us to change and grow. A year that screams so loudly, maybe waking us from some of our former slumbers. A year where we accept, as I did, that I really need to change. To declare that change, to work for change, and to become a challenger and a bold and creative force for change. A year where we band together instead of pushing each other further and further apart. So I am thinking that 2020 wasn't supposed to be cancelled, but rather that it might be, despite its painfulness, a very important year. And when I shared that, it wasn't my original set of thoughts, but when I shared it, the reactions were quite incredible. So as we gather our learnings from 2020, and I really encourage us to do so, and we organize our painful and our delightful memories, so that we can make 2021 work for us better as we capture our dreams and our priorities, and we really plan to build back better, not only for ourselves, but for others. So I firstly want to talk about you. You know, your strength, your well-being, and your self-care. I guess what we're talking about here is it all starts for you as leaders in IT with your personal well-being and your resilience. And I have shared many times where I think the actions that we can take, the top tips for us as women to build our personal resilience. Firstly, to cultivate more compassion for ourselves and then for others. And I've really tried very hard at this year. According to the research, expressed and demonstrated compassion increases positive emotions. It creates positive work relationships and increases cooperation and collaboration. Secondly, and I think all of you can relate to this in your work, to compartmentalize your cognitive load. You know, apparently We receive, particularly us in IT, receive over 11 million bits of information every single second. But our brains can only effectively process about 40 bits. So if we can't reduce the amount of information we're receiving, then we need to learn to compartmentalize doing certain tasks at certain times. A bit like exercise, doing it at a certain set time, a sort of monotasking, as I called it. And then something I've written about a great deal, if you go onto my website and read some of my past work, exercising more mindfulness and getting some training. The social psychologists are finding that mindfulness really predicts judgment accuracy and insight related problem solvings. And the online training, is absolutely superb. So I really encourage you to think about what are the coping mechanisms you need as you make yourselves as leaders in IT even stronger. Secondly, of course, this is IT. We need to talk about your skills. And of course, the skills that I'm sure you are all working on that are listed by the World Economic Forum, all of the major institutes, MIT, Harvard Business School, etc., are around analytical thinking and the creation of innovation, active learning strategies, complex problem solving, critical thinking and analysis, leadership, and your personal brand and social presence. And of course, your technical capabilities around cloud, AI, blockchain, cybersecurity, etc. But I deeply believe that the life skills with the march of these very important new epoch of technologies are even more important. As I've mentioned, your resilience and stress tolerance and flexibility, your creativity as well. And as I have written, as we march towards AI, the life skills that become so important are your amazing strengths as women. The importance of human emotion, EQ, contextualizing skills, collaboration, creativity. There are many trend pieces that highlight, that machine learning and the use of robots will replace humans. But of course, there are many skills that as yet cannot be automated. Machines can well diagnose certain illnesses, but I, for one, and most people, want to be talked through the serious illness of our children, our parents, our loved ones in a human way, with emotion and care and compassion and empathy. Robotic baristas are all the rage in certain parts of California and Seoul, but it often requires humans to assist, to troubleshoot and to interact with the customers. And emotion plays such an important role in human connection. It helps us prioritize what we do and when we do it. It's not only complex emotion, but it's also very nuanced, and it helps us interact with the detailed processes of decision making. So I think those life skills, those human skills, the skills that you have been exercising as women and men since your childhood are becoming increasingly important. And then I believe for all of us right now, and I'm spending a huge amount of time doing this, I don't know if you are, but that is boosting morale, mine and that of others. As we enter new phases of house arrest in concrete skies, and many feeling that a year of a pandemic was one thing, but 2 years is just way too much. A few gems that I would share with you that I am using daily with organizations, with individuals, and with teams as I coach, as I mentor, as I volunteer, as I write and live and work. First of all, I think it's very important for all of us to be developing mechanisms that encourage psychological safety. In all the teams I've worked in, living and working across 4 continents, creating environments of fairness where everyone is a favorite, encouraging outspoken views whilst, deeply embracing not just diversity, where we hire very diverse individuals, but that they are included and progressed and retained so that trust is maintained in a new and enriched workplace. With individual and collective trust, this fabric of psychological safety is woven that I think everyone can excel in their missions. Something that I think is very important for our millennial and Generation Z environments, particularly my own children, that this is a time to be emphasizing learning and enjoying the smaller and simpler things and planning going forward over winning. Team members, I think, of all ages need to feel that they are learning both in a structured way and an unstructured way. So us providing skill-based programs, shadowing days, making cocktails together or sourdough online, developing new internships, sabbaticals, and assignments, I think truly will bond individuals to your leadership brand and that of your organization. And it is definitely a time to be celebrating daily small victories, great things that have happened between us, calling out the rock stars, heralding teamship and wins and delights. And I think this is so, so important at this time, because history shows that great innovation that drives growth, does come from a growth mindset after these dark periods. After a last pandemic in the mid-50s, Sony came out of that with the transistor radio, which transformed technology into the 50s and some believe allowed the 60s to actually happen. After the dot-com bubble burst and there was a massive crash around tech, Apple brought out their first iPod in 2001. I got one. It was so exciting. And then Microsoft, after the deep recession in the mid-70s, was formed in 1975. So I think great innovation led by you as you power up, be kind to yourself, and as a woman, really choose to challenge and to take the leadership in this vortex of change is actually a period of opportunity. And as you do that, the world will be better for it. Now, all of these ideas, resources will be included on a slide after I finish. Please don't hesitate to reach out to my website at harrietgreen.com or the contacts are on that slide. And if I can be of greater help in any of your quests, please let me know. But here's to you, powering and choosing to lead and being bold. Thank you.